The last experiment, called Intelligence Experiment or Call of Duty, I don't know if you saw that. Anyway, this one's a little bit might be closer to home. This group wanted to know if doing video games would affect students' test performance. So they took 64 boys. They gave them a test on reading and writing, and then they gave half of them a PlayStation, and half of them were not given a PlayStation. So we're assuming those half do not have video games. And when this was done, we probably didn't. And then they waited 4 months, and they gave the same test again. And basically what happens in this test is that the 32 with no video games did better on that test than the students who had a PlayStation for 4 months. So in this experiment, the independent variable is whether or not students were given a video game or not. The dependent variable is the test scores that they took, really the ending test scores. And the question is, how does the independent variable, video games, affect the test scores? And the constants, you see there's a number of them. Now, obviously, this is actually really interesting doing experiments on humans like this. There's a million things you can't control, but here are some things you could. And so you could list those. And then this one actually is interesting because it has a control group and an experimental group. So in this case, back when this was done, the control group was the group that was not given the video game. And the experimental group was the group that was given a video game. So we break them into two groups. So this is our control group, and this is our control group, and this is our experimental group. Sort of like that video you watched on the drugs or the pain relievers. The hypothesis was if students use video games, then test scores will be lower. And you can read the piece, but basically that's what this study showed. So hopefully that's helpful to you as you try to piece together and go over the results of this homework.